Philip I of Castile, called the Handsome of the Fair, was the first member of the House of Habsburg to be King of Castile, the son of Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian I. At the age of 3, Philip inherited the greater part of the Duchy of Burgundy and the Burgundian Netherlands from his mother, Mary, and at 27 briefly succeeded to the Crown of Castile as the husband of Queen Joanna, who was also heiress-presumptive to the Crown of Aragon. He was the first Habsburg monarch in Spain. He never inherited his father's territories or became Holy Roman Emperor because he predeceased his father, but his son Emperor Charles V eventually united the Habsburg, Burgundian, Castilian, and Aragonese inheritances. The future King Henry VIII of England met Philip the Handsome on a visit Philip made to Henry's father's court in London and regarded him as providing a model of leadership towards which he aspired. The two would become brothers-in-law since Philip married Joanna of Castile, and Henry married Joanna's youngest sister, Catherine of Aragon. Biography. Early life. Philip was born in Bruges to Mary, Duchess of Burgundy, and Maximilian I, Holy Roman Emperor. During the reign of his grandfather Frederick III in the county of Flanders, and was named after his great-grandfather, Philip the Good, grandfather of his mother Mary. In 1482, upon the death of his mother, he succeeded to her Burgundian possessions under the guardianship of his father. A period of turmoil ensued which witnessed sporadic hostilities between, principally, the large towns of Flanders and the supporters of Maximilian. During this interregnum, Philip became caught up in events and was even briefly sequestered in Bruges as part of the larger Flemish campaign to support their claims of greater autonomy, which they had wrested from Mary of Burgundy in an agreement known as the Great Privilege of 1477. By the early 1490s, the turmoil of the interregnum gave way to an uneasy standoff with neither French support for the cities of the Frank, nor imperial support from Philip's grandfather, Emperor Frederick III, proving decisive. Both sides came to terms in the Treaty of Senlis in 1493, when Emperor Frederick died and Philip's father Maximilian became the new emperor. This smoothed over the internal power struggle as the two sides agreed to make the 15-year-old Philip prince in the following year. The Burgundian Inheritance and the Spanish Alliance. In 1494, Maximilian relinquished his regency under the terms of the Treaty of Senlis, and Philip, aged 16, took over the rule of the Burgundian lands himself, although in practice authority was derived from a council of Burgundian notables. On the 20th of October 1496, he married Joanna, daughter of King Ferdinand II of Aragon and Queen Isabel I of Castile, in La, Belgium. The marriage was one of a set of family alliances between the Habsburgs and the Trastamara, designed to strengthen against growing French power, which had increased significantly thanks to the policies of Louis XI and the successful assertion of regal power after war with the League of the Public Weal. The matter became more urgent after Charles VIII's invasion of Italy. Philip's sister Margaret married John, Prince of Asturias, only son of Ferdinand and Isabella, and heir apparent to the unified crowns of Castile and Aragon. The double alliance was never intended to let the Spanish kingdoms fall under Habsburg control. At the time of her marriage to Philip, Joanna was third in line to the throne, with John and the sister Isabella married and hopeful of progeny. The Castilian Inheritance in 1500, shortly after the birth in Flanders of Joanna and Philip's second child, the succession to the Castilian and Aragonese crowns was thrown into turmoil. The heir apparent, John, had died in 1497, very shortly after his marriage to Margaret of Austria. The crown thereby seemed destined to devolve upon his and Joanna's elder sister Isabella, wife of Manuel I of Portugal. She died in 1498, while giving birth to a son named Miguel da Paz, to whom succession to the united crowns of Castile, Aragon and Portugal now fell. However, the infant was sickly and died during the summer of 1500. The succession to the Castilian and Aragonese crowns now fell to Joanna. Because Ferdinand could produce another heir, the Cortes of Aragon refused to recognize Joanna as heir presumptive to the Kingdom of Aragon. In the Kingdom of Castile, however, the succession was clear. Moreover, there was no Salic tradition which the Castilian Cortes could use to thwart the succession passing to Joanna. At this point, the issue of Joanna's supposed mental incompetence moved from courtly annoyance to the center of the political stage, since it was clear that Philip and his Burgundian entourage would be the real power holders in Castile. In 1502, Philip, Joanna and a large part of the Burgundian court traveled to Spain to receive fealty from the Cortes of Castile as heirs, a journey chronicled in intense detail by Antoine van Leeuwen, the future stadtholder of Holland and Zeeland. Philip and a majority of the court returned to the Low Countries in the following year, leaving a pregnant Joanna behind in Madrid, where she gave birth to Ferdinand, later Holy Roman Emperor. Philip's life with Joanna was rendered extremely unhappy by his infidelity and political insecurity, during which time he constantly attempted to usurp her legal birthrights of power. This led in great part to the rumors of her insanity due to reports of depressive and neurotic acts committed while she was being imprisoned or coerced by her husband, rumors that benefited Philip politically. Most historians now agree she was merely clinically depressed at the time, not insane as commonly believed. Before her mother's death, in 1504, husband and wife were already living apart. Struggle for power in Spain. In 1504, Philip's mother-in-law, Queen Isabella of Castile, died, leaving the crown of Castile to Joanna. Isabella I's widower and former co-monarch King Ferdinand II endeavored to lay hands on the regency of Castile, but the nobles, who disliked and feared him, forced him to withdraw. Philip was summoned to Spain, where he was recognized as king. However, en route to Spain in January 1506, Philip and Joanna were caught in a tempest and shipwrecked off the Dorset coast, forcing them on shore near Milcom Regis. The couple stayed as guests of Henry VII of England but were in fact hostages for the duration of the stay. To get released, Philip was forced to sign a treaty with Henry VII, the so-called Malice Intercursus, which included a mutual defense pact, the extradition of rebels, including the Earl of Suffolk. Edmund de Lippold, who was in exile, was a guest of Philip in the Low Countries, and a trade agreement which allowed English merchants to import cloth duty-free into the Low Countries. After handing over Edmund, Philip and Joanna were allowed to leave England after a stay of 6 weeks. Philip and Joanna landed at Corunna on the 28th of April 1506, accompanied by a body of German mercenaries. Father and son-in-law mediated under Cardinal Cisneros at Remesal, near Puebla de Sanabria, and at Renedo, the only result of which was an indecent family quarrel, in which Ferdinand professed to defend the interests of his daughter, who he said was imprisoned by her husband. On the 27th of June 1506, the Treaty of Villafafila was signed between Ferdinand and Philip, with Philip being proclaimed King of Castile by the Cortes of Valladolid. However, Philip died suddenly at Burgos, apparently of typhoid fever, on the 25th of September 1506, although a poisoning was widely spoken of at the time, and is what his wife believed to be the cause of Philip's death. His wife supposedly refused to allow his body to be buried or depart from it for a while. Philip I is entombed at the Royal Chapel of Granada, alongside his wife and her parents Isabella I and Ferdinand II. Family. Philip and Joanna of Castile had 6 children: Eleanor, Queen Consort of Portugal and France; Charles V, King of Spain, Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire; Isabella, Queen Consort of Denmark, Norway and Sweden; Ferdinand I, King of Bohemia and Hungary, Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire; Mary, Queen Consort of Hungary and Bohemia, Governor of the Spanish Netherlands; Catherine, Queen Consort of Portugal. Ancestry Titles. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Titular Duke of Burgundy as Philip IV. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Duke of Brabant is Philip III. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Duke of Limburg as Philip III. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Duke of Lothian as Philip III. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Duke of Luxembourg as Philip II. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Margrave of Namur as Philip V. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Count Palatine of Burgundy as Philip VI. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Count of Artois as Philip VI. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Count of Charolais as Philip III. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Count of Flanders as Philip IV. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Count of Hainaut as Philip II. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Count of Holland as Philip II. The 27th of March 1482 to 25 September 1506. Count of Zeeland as Philip II. The 27th of March 1482 to 1492. Duke of Guelders as Philip I. The 27th of March 1482 to 1492. Count of Zutphen as Philip I. The 26th of November 1504 to 25 September 1506. Jury Uxorus King of Castile as Philip I.